Hi, this is Sarah Mikesell with the Dairy Site, and today we're here with Stacy Nichols. He is a Dairy Technical Sales Manager at Vita Plus, and he's also a member of the Dairy Advisory Group for U.S. Soy. Thanks for being with us today, Stacy.
Thank you, Sarah.
Very good. And today, Stacy and I are tucked away in the Vita Plus booth here at the World Dairy Expo in Madison, Wisconsin. And today, we're talking about high oleic soybeans. So I'm going to just run through a few questions, and you can teach us a little bit about this topic that we've got today, Stacy. How are producers using high oleic soybean in dairy cow diets today?
So we're starting to see a lot of adoption of high oleic soybeans in the industry. Most dairy producers would be feeding 3 to 7 pounds per head per day in their lactating ration, although we've seen producers feed a lot more than that. The benefit of doing high oleic soybeans is a reduction in purchase feed cost, and it's mainly on the supplemental fat side.
Very good. And that's my next question is what benefits are producers seeing as a result of feeding high oleic soybeans?
Yeah, so I've been in the industry 30 years, and one of the challenges we have in formulating lactating cow rations for the modern dairy cow is I don't think we put enough fat in her rations. High oleic soybeans has given us an opportunity to do that, but offset the price of dry supplemental fats.
Very good. Excellent. How can producers get the most out of high oleic soybeans?
I think that today we've been substituting again a lot on that, removing a lot of supplemental fat. I'm not sure that that's necessarily the best approach. We might need to still leave a little bit of that in, and that's research that's coming. Also, you're getting benefit from the protein of high oleic soybeans. Soy protein is a very good protein for lactating dairy cattle, and we're able to replace some of those purchased protein costs too with high oleic soybeans.
Very good. What should producers look for in a well-roasted high oleic soybean?
So the first thing you want to look for is it actually roasted? This is a challenge that we're having in the industry today. We have forgotten how to roast soybeans, and we're getting better at doing that. But we're looking for you want it to be the color of soybean meal or darker, because that's an indication that it's well roasted. Does it need to be roasted to the level that some of our bypass soy proteins have been? I'm not sure we have to go there, especially if we're feeding high levels, but we need to make sure that we're well roasted and we've gotten rid of anti-nutritional factors and we've improved the bypass protein portion of that high oleic soybean through the roasting.
Very good. And you may have answered this already, but why is a well-roasted soybean important?
So there's anti-nutritional factors in raw soybeans.
Okay.
We know that, and we've always thought that those were related to and a problem in calf nutrition and monogastric nutrition. I think at really high levels of feeding, we've seen that in some of the research that it's a problem in lactating cows. So I don't think we want to feed high oleic soybeans raw. Getting them roasted protects the protein from degradation by the rumen microbes, and by doing that you've taken a good quality protein and you're able to deliver that to the small intestine of the cow, and she absorbs those amino acids of that good quality protein that help her make more milk protein and more milk. So that's the reason we're looking for a well roasted soybean. The more we roast them, the more bypass protein we have, and that's just more of really good quality amino acids that we're going to deliver to the cow. So we want them well roasted. There's things that a producer can look for through a few lab analysis. Protein dispersibility index, PDI, we want those beans to be somewhere between 9 to 11 if we're replacing our really our bypass soy sources that are in the ration and some of the other bypass proteins we feed. If we're going to feed really high levels of them, maybe we could back that off and have a PDI of 11 to 14, and that would still provide good quality protein, and it also, we've gotten past those anti-nutritional factors. The other thing that we're looking for in the soybeans is we want them at a particle size where the cow isn't going to pass them all the way through without digestion,
Right.
but we don't want it so fine that we're impacting rumen fermentation and we're losing the bypass protein that we've heated those beans for. So micron size of somewhere between 600 and 850 microns is a good place to be, and you can smell a good quality roasted soybean. It smells different. It smells like roasted peanuts. They actually taste really good. Maybe add some salt, but high oleic soybeans, when they're roasted well, you can smell that there's a different smell there.
Very good. And one final question. How do high oleic soybeans work differently in the cow, right, than non-high oleic soybeans?
Yeah, so conventional soybeans are high in linoleic acid, and linoleic acid, we know based on research that was 25 years old now or older, that linoleic acid is the primary factor in milk fat depression. So when we remove the linoleic acid and we have more oleic acid doesn't have as much of that risk factor of milk fat depression. And what we're actually seeing is we can feed a lot of high oleic soybeans and feed that cow a lot of fat. That's how we started the conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
We can feed that cow a lot of fat that we haven't really been able to, either because of cost, or we had the problem of if we tried to feed a lot of fat, we would cause milk fat depression. If we were feeding it from our vegetable oil sources, corn distillers, conventional soybeans, and those kind of products. So we're able to, with the high oleic soybean, that oleic acid isn't as detrimental to milk fat production. And what we're seeing by the levels of fat we can get into these cows is we're actually gaining more milk fat production because she's got more fat that she can put into milk fat.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you. I know I threw that last question at you, but I think that's important to kind of explain the difference between the two, right?
High oleic soybeans are about 70 to 75% oleic acid.
Okay.
Conventional soybeans are about 55% linoleic acid, and that's the big difference.
That's the difference. Interesting. Great. Well, hey, thank you so much for all the information today, Stacy.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah.
Thanks. This is Sarah Mikesell with the Dairy Site.